Hello, my friends. How are you? Happy Monday. This looks weird tonight, so I'm hoping it's working for you on your end. We are going to be working with embellies tonight. And if you're sitting there thinking, what is she talking about? I don't know what an embelly is. Well, an embelly is SVGs that I've created to cut with your Cricut or any other die cut machine that can cut SVGs. I'm using Cricuts, but you can use any of the other ones that allow you to bring in an SVG. They are multi-layered SVGs that fit the front of a card. Okay? Hey, Susan. So where does that word come from? You know I make up cutesy names and then I spend the rest of my life explaining what they mean. Embelly is short for embellishment, and these were originally designed to be something you could put on a scrapbook page. But then I quickly learned that, wait, they look really cute on the front of a card, and I could make the card be what I wanted. So I have jumped knee deep in the embelly pool, and I can't wait to share it all with you. So if you're not sure how to find them, let me show you. If you go to karamiller.com, you'll see an explanation because, you know, I've been saying this a while and people are like, what are you talking about? I'm going to show you how they work tonight, but you can find them right here in the store. Right now there's 2 bundles. The Christmas bundle is coming later this week, and they're going to be in bundles. They will include 5 or 6 cards depending on, oh, there's 3, I forgot. Sorry, I'm confused. Those look like duplicates. This one, anyway, we'll look at these later. But they fit on the front of a standard card. And you're thinking, a standard card, I don't know what that means. In the card lingo, like, you can sound super cool, like you know what you're talking about. They're A2 size cards. Well, A2 stands for basically that you took an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock and you cut it in half. So it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 when the card's folded up, like so, right? Fits in a great little envelope. And you're thinking, okay, so I got to make those. Well, you could make those with a Cricut. You can. But you can also grab them in bulk from Close to My Heart. They come in a bag. Let me show you. Right? With envelopes, you get a pack of 50 card bases. They're heavyweight and envelopes. So then all you're going to do is the fun part. You're going to decorate the front of them, and the embelly is going to help you do it. Okay? All right. So let's assume that you fell in love with the fall ones. Let's click on that for a minute. And you can see what you're going to get with the fall collection. And I show you the ones that I've actually cut out. So there might be 2, but it's the same card. So there's the truck. There's the pumpkins. And if you scroll down, I'm sorry, go into my YouTube page, which I'll put the link below. It's right here. You can see, this is probably going to start talking and I don't want it to, but you can see there's a short little video here that tells you how to actually get that to work really well for you. So if you've never done that before, check out the YouTube channel. There will be a lot of information there, as well as what we're doing tonight will be there too. Okay, so what we're going to work on tonight, a couple of things I wanted to talk to you about. Some of these cards, I want to go back to another collection. They're called Ready to Stamp. They're these right here. And they have spaces that you're going to want to put your sentiment on or your stamp. If you have some small stamps, they work great. Part of the problem that I'm discovering lately is I pick out a stamp set for you, and then by the time I get it here in Vermont and I show it to you, sometimes it's out of stock. And then it's just really frustrating for me to show you something that you can't go get. I love the way they work. Stamp sets work great. I'm going to show you that, but I'm also going to show you what to do if you don't have a stamp that says what you want it to do. Oh, Susan, it is so much easier than other trucks that we've done. Those of you that might have been watching me for a long time, one year I decided to put together the 3D pickup truck that I think it's SVGS. It might be Dreaming Tree. I'm not sure. It's this cute little pickup truck, and I thought, oh, that'll be fine. Oh, no, it wasn't. It made me crazy, along with everyone else in the group that came. The demo video looked super simple, but apparently my brain couldn't translate it. So I stay away from those. I'm not good at that. I can make the houses. I can't do that. So anywho, yes, I do nice flat ones now that fit in envelopes. They're much simpler. Okay, so let me bring you in. It was awful cute. It was. Let me bring you into Design Space here on my computer. And I'm going to bring in one of those, this one in particular is one we're going to work on tonight. And this is one of the new Christmas ones, and it will be on the website later this week. But I wanted to show you how the SVG works and what you can do with it. So you bring this in. Well, you don't do that to it. Don't mess up the size. So you bring this in, and you'll notice that there's a space here that you're going to stamp your sentiment in, or what I'm going to show you tonight is how to tell Cricut to write in there. Cricut can write on your card. I am using the Cricut Joy, and the Cricut Joy pens are different than the Cricut Explore or Maker pens. I'm going to see if I can show you. I think I have a Maker one right here. I can show you. I do. Do I not? Yes, I do. Okay. So let me bring you back to me. This is what goes in a regular size Cricut. The Cricut Explore, the Cricut Maker uses this size pen. The Cricut Joy, and these are not Cricut pens, and I'll put the links down below to show you. These are, let's open the top so you can see. See the difference in the pen? Let me get to the mirror, to the camera. This is how far the standard Cricut is into the blade. This is all you have in the Joy. Remember, the Joy's little. The Cricut Joy loves to make embellies. It truly does. So if you already have a Maker or an Explorer, don't worry. You don't need to go out and buy the Joy. But if you don't have a Cricut yet, or you have a Joy that's sitting there, I love making these with the Joy because it's so quick. It loads, it does it, and I like to make them one at a time. And I want to show you why I like to make them one at a time so you can see what works best for you. If you're going to, I'm going to put two different ones on the mat, okay? All right, so remember, Cricut cuts by color, right? So this little, if I have both of these right here, and I tell Cricut, go ahead and make it, it's going to send it over to the cut screen. Those are all the white pieces. Those are all the red. Those are like a dark green, and these are a lighter green. But none of them necessarily make sense to me. So I can either do all my colors in here and figure out exactly what color I want, or I kind of like to do it as I go, as I look at the load of the mat. So I'm going to turn you off for a second. Remember, you can just turn it off and say, it's still there, it didn't go anywhere, but this is the only one Cricut's going to work with right now. I want two different colors, and I want white. So I'm going to tell the Cricut, go ahead. What this is missing is what's going to go behind that. What you're going to want to cut is 4 by 5 1/4. But if you've been following me, you know that I tend to pre-cut a lot of my paper into that size. So I have a lot of that size cut already. I'm going to grab some to show you. My pile is really well beat up here. But if you have that already cut, then you don't need to cut those. So what I do is I go ahead and take my 12 by 12s or my 6 by 6s and I cut them into 4 by 5 1/4, and then I have them. They can be used to cut some of the images in the Embelly, or they can be used ready to just pop behind it. But let's say you don't have one and you want Cricut to do it. I'm going to go grab a shape. I will tell you, some Embellys have it, some don't. And I'm going to set this at 5.25. I'm going to unlock it, and I'm going to set this at 4. Now remember, my card's a little bit bigger than that. My card will fit a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I know these numbers are crazy. It gives me a headache. That's why I love a Cricut, so I don't have to measure it all. We're going to say go ahead and make it. So Cricut's going to go ahead and cut it out. Let me bring you down so that you can see what they actually look like. Okay, so I already cut these. Let's bring you over here. So this is the 4 by 5 1/4, and that's going to go in my background of my card. This is one of those cards I was talking about, right? Already all set to go, all scored, super simple. I'm going to pop this down here. Now, someone asked me, do they come in different colors? They do not, but you can always add a front to it in any color that you want with your pattern paper. And then this is the shadow layer. A shadow layer works kind of like the back of a puzzle, and then that's the detail that goes on top. And this is where I would want to stamp, but I'm going to tell you, it's really pretty little. And the stamps that I wanted to show you on it aren't in stock right now. So I don't have a stamp that I can show you. I could stamp one that's a little bit bigger and it would fit here and I'd be okay. Or I can say, you know what, Cricut, I want you to do the work, and I'm going to write what I want Cricut to say, and it's going to go on my card just like that. Right? Okay, so let's go back into Design Space and let me show you. I want you to go away. I want you to come back. Okay. So I'm going to say I want to write on this one. I'm going to move you out of my way, and I don't really need you turned on because I already had one cut, but if you need to cut one, that's what you do. And I'm going to ungroup this little baby, and I'm going to take this white thing and move it over here. I want to say Merry Christmas. Super simple, right? All right. I'm going to grab text, and automatically a text box pops up on the screen, but I don't want Cricut to cut it out. I want it to write it. So I have to tell that to Cricut, and I also have to tell it I want a font that looks good written. I'm going to use a Cricut font. System fonts don't work as well, and Cricut has the ability to choose just a writing font, which I did already, and it will filter, and so all the ones it's going to show me are writing fonts. They're fonts that are single layer, that actually look like single line, that look like you would have written it, not like you would have outlined it. Let me show you the difference. If I take this and I simply change it to write, it's going to look like that. What you see is what you get in a Cricut. So it's going to look like the outline. If that's not what I want, I need to tell Cricut, oh, whoa, whoa, that's not what I want. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to choose a writing font, which I've already filtered through and picked just, I could go through for days, but I'm going to pick you. Hi, Tammy. So doesn't that look different? Oh, that's a writing font. Okay, cool. And I'm going to write it with a pen. I'm not going to cut it. Good job. So now I've got to tell Cricut what I want it to say. I'm going to double click in here, and I'm going to type in Merry Chris. I'm going to spell it right. Christmas. Okay, cool. I'm going to click off and I'm going to bring it over here, and it is miles too big, right? But that's okay, we can fix it. I'm going to take this corner and I'm going to shrink it down until it fits right in the space that I have. Doesn't matter how little it is, Cricut is magical. I'm going to put Merry Christmas in there. I'm going to select the two of them because I need to tell Cricut not only I want you to write, but where do I want you to write? And I want Cricut to write on that circle. So I'm going to select the two of them. I have the draw layer and the circle, and I'm going to tell Cricut attach it. Okay, so now when I say make it, this is what Cricut's going to do. It's going to have a white layer because that's what the circle is cut out of, but I could put anything I want. And it's going to tell me to use a pen and then cut. So it's going to write Merry Christmas and then it's going to cut it out. And then I can put my card together. So let me come over here. So now I have, this is the card pieces. This is the detail. Let's get back down to the bottom, and you kind of put it together like you would a pizza. This piece is going to go down here on the bottom. Any paper that you want, any theme that you want, depending on the card. Now the ones that I showed you earlier, the ready to stamps, I'm going to show you those too. Those don't have a theme. So they can be anything you want. The Christmas ones will be, well, Christmas themed. Here's our tree base layer that looks like the puzzle piece, right? It tells you where to put all this stuff. That's the beauty of the Embellies. You don't have to figure out where to place things on your card. It's all there for you. No measuring, no muss, no fuss. You just pop it on down. This is literally the way it comes off the mat. And then this gets added to it. Now I can do things like ink this around the edges. I can add some sparkle to it, whatever you want to do, but I'm just doing it super simple tonight. This is just the paper. And you just line these babies up so they have a little bit of shadow behind them. Get off my finger. There's that. And then I have my Merry Christmas. I could ink around the edge of this if I wanted. I could stamp a little embellishment here, a little image or something I wanted on there. I'm going to grab my foam dot and pop a couple of those on the back. And we are good to go. Now, the next thing you could think about is, well, maybe some of those stamps were too small or too big for the front, but they could go inside the card if you were in love with it. So there is Merry Christmas. This is easily done, mass-produced if you wanted, if you needed to make a ton of them. What I like about doing it one-on-one is I can pick my paper as I go. So there's that one. Let's look at the other one. This is the other one, and the tag is really little. The little tag that goes on it. Now you could literally write on the tag yourself, or you could tell Cricut, I want you to write, "Oh, Christmas tree" on this tag. And that's going to go right here. So same plan. I've got my 4 by 5 1/4 pattern paper that's going to go right there. I've got my sweet little plaid background, just like that. Then my tree is going to go right on top. Now think about what you could do with that using some glimmer paper. And you could really make it super sparkly if you wanted. You could color in your tree. You could add gems and decorate your tree. So don't let it be just what you see it when you first look at the picture of it. Don't let it limit you. The paper, the ink, and the stamps all make it your own. Let me show you. These are from the ready to stamp collection, the all occasion cards that are in the store. Wink of Stella, you bet. This one will fit, Love You fits really nice right on that. This is from, and this stamp set is still available. This is from Hey Friend. And you'll notice I use this a lot. It's really helpful. It's got some good sentiments on it. Wonderful would probably fit. Let's give it a try and see if I can get it off. Yep, Wonderful would fit just fine there. So let's do that. This is a new stamp. I haven't used this one yet, so you're going to wake it up on your hand. Say, wake up. When I was a little girl, and I'm going to show my age, there was a song called Wake Up Little Susie. Susie was not my name. I don't know why I thought the song was written for me, but I did. I guess because my dad told me it was. I was like 2. Susan, did you think it was for you? I'm going to go with some Acorn, which is one of the new colors. Remember, my Close to My Heart store link is, right? Yeah, but at least it was your name. I don't know why I thought it was for me, but I sure did. And I'm going to stamp this right on here. Now, you know, it's a little risky to do it when it's already put together, but you know, hey, we're going to live life dangerously tonight. So simple. And the card looks really detailed because of the different patterns and what have you, but Cricut did all the work. I just put it together. Okay? So there's that one. These two are other ones from that same all occasion collection. Some of them may look familiar. They are about 3 years old. If you weren't following us 3 years ago, then they'll look all new to you. But if you've been following me for a long time, you might have this one, and you might have this one, I think. It's hard to remember exactly when I did them, but I know they're old. But I just redid them in new papers and added a little something to them, so they're a little bit different. This one does fit Love You in both of these squares. So I'm just going to go with my black, which I thought was right here, but I don't see it. Oh, there it is. And again, these are cards that you could make up and just have sitting in the drawer ready to go. I always have a collection of them because I never know when I might need one. And then you simply adhesive them. Put adhesive on the back and add them to your card. And they pop right in there and fit perfectly. The other piece that you can do, and you might notice behind this one, I use the same 4x5 1/4, but I ran it through an embossing folder and then popped it behind it. So it adds a little detail, but not a whole lot of pattern. Again, if you've been following me for a while, you know I tend to be kind of matchy-matchy and simple. This is almost over the top for me for the patterns. They all go together. They all came in the same collection, but I can't go any more color than that and still be happy. But I think it looks sort of fall mountainish. We're kind of heading into that here in Vermont, so I'm okay with it. But sometimes too many patterns give me a headache. So there's that. These are others in that same collection. This is probably my favorite because of the colors. I love them. This is a great fall. I'm going to have Cricut do some writing on this one and this one as well because they're little, but they work great to have Cricut do the writing. So if you aren't sure about it, there will be a short video up tomorrow, just like the truck one, on how to do the writing on the Cricut, but it'll be in here too, what I just showed you. But I'm trying to do short ones, like 5-minute ones that you can go back and watch, so you don't have to watch a whole Facebook Live to see one little technology skill. Remember, there's 2 books, one on the Cricut Joy and one on using Design Space, that are available. They do have a lot about they're in my Amazon store, and I will put the links below this later on so that you can go look for them if you don't already have them. But thank you so much for coming tonight. Embellies are my favorite thing to make. I love their name. I just like saying them. They are available on my site, right? Easy to find. And they will be continually growing in numbers. I also have a brand new Etsy shop that I'm jumping in with both feet. I don't know, we'll see how that goes. I hope that you all try one, kind of like a potato chip. Once you try one, they are kind of addicting, and bellies are fun, and they're a fun way to use the scraps that you have. They fit on the front of an A2 size card, and you can tell your friends that and they'll think you're super cool. All right, everybody, have a great night. I'll see you soon. Bye.